Hello and welcome. This is FIDE Master Vedant Goswami. And in today's video, we are going to watch an amazing battle between the two world champions, Gary Kasparov and Anatoly Karpov. Karpov is playing white, Kasparov is black. The game was played in Linares 1993. And the game is remarkable for the beautiful finish that Kasparov achieved against Karpov. It is not daily that Karpov was on the receiving end of such a beautiful masterpiece. So let us start. Karpov starts the game with d4, and Kasparov answers with nf6, and with his favorite King's Indian opening. So nc3, bishop g7, e4, d6, f3. White goes for the very solid Samish variation of the King's Indian. So castles, bishop e3 and e5, all pretty regular stuff. Knight e2 and c6. Queen d2 and bd7. And rook d1. Of course, multiple moves are possible. Long castle is possible. In this game, Karpov chooses rook d1. Okay, so black plays a6, planning to start some counterplay on the queen side with b5, with the idea that, if pawn takes, the rook is free and black has some counterplay in attacking the a pawn and also threatening b4. So white played d into e5, which is a slight inaccuracy. So we'll see. Black took knight into e5, a very nice move. Pawn into e5 was also possible, but that would leave black with a slight disadvantage here. And true to his style, Kasparov goes for the variation, which gives him counterplay instead of playing on with a defensive position. So white plays b3, defending the pawn, and now threatening to play queen into d6. And instead of protecting, black plays b5, a very nice move, because instead of protecting, he's counter-attacking. And this is very true to Kasparov's style. He doesn't want to defend passively. He wants to create some trouble. He wants to create some counterplay. So white takes c into b5, a into b5, and as we see, the rook file is now open. So black has made some progress in his endeavor to achieve some counterplay. Queen into d6. And now a very instructive move. Of course, black should not take it and did not take it, because all black's hope is based on some counterplay, maybe against this king, which is right now stuck on e1, and it will take at least 3 moves for it to achieve castling and some sort of safety. And also this rook, which is in an open file. Okay, so and we already know that, when you have some chances of initiative, particularly against the king, the piece to keep on the board is the queen. Should not exchange the queens, because if there are any chances of attack, they're best realized by the queen. So I played nf to d7, a very interesting move, supporting the knight on e5 and also opening the diagonal for the bishop. White played f4. And if simply the knight moves away right now, like knight to g4, white can have a clear advantage after queen into c6. So black opted for the counterattack. b4. Knight goes to b1 and knight g4. White plays the only move, bishop d4, and with an effort to neutralize this powerful bishop. So black takes and takes again, and rook into a2. So already black has some very serious counterplay. His rook is along the 7th rank and is kind of paralyzing white. And if you see, white's king is still a lot of moves away from safety. So it's a very dangerous situation for white. And it is the type of position where Kasparov excels. the position where he has the initiative. So white plays h3, and again black plays c5, again putting an attack on the queen on d4 and forcing white to play this very ugly move, queen g1. And if you see, white is kind of in a very compromised position right now. His most of the pieces are back to the first rank, cannot castle, and a very tricky situation to play against a very strong player like Gary Kasparov, of course. Knight goes to f6, creating an attack on e4, e5, knight e4. And now white plays h4, which is more of desperation rather than an attack. And black continues with the very beautiful c4, creating a breakthrough. Okay, so white plays knight c1, and now starts the beautiful combination. Kasparov does not protect the rook on a2. He plays c3, sacrificing the whole rook. Knight into a2 and c2. So one of the thoughts behind that this rook is still one of the key defenders of the king. So when this is out, then a direct attack on the white king will be possible. So there are multiple options for white are there. So rook can move to c1. Karpov chose to play queen into d4. Karpov captured and promoted to a queen, king into d1. And now, usually, like I keep saying, when you have a chance to attack the king, usually you want to keep the queen on the board. But always there are exceptions, and this is one of those cases. Black plays knight c5 because now the remaining of the black pieces are so superior in activity that they alone are creating an attack, a direct attack on the white king. So queen into d8, rook into d8. Now if you see, it is worthwhile noticing the difference in activity of the white and the black pieces, though they are similar in number. So these two knights are really active, while these two knights are kind of pretty much doing nothing. The rook on h1 has not been developed. The bishop on f1 is still not developed. So a huge difference in activity, and black has a huge initiative and an attack. So white plays king c2, and Kasparov continues with the very powerful nf2, attacking the rook, preventing it from coming maybe to h3. Maybe that's not even possible, but also gaining time for the very powerful bishop f5. So every piece of black is coming into the game with tempo, with attack. So white goes to rook g1 and bishop f5. See how the four minor pieces, three minor pieces and the rook are kind of weaving a web against the white king. So king goes to b2. Kasparov goes with nd1, pushing the white king to the corner and finishing with knight b3 checkmate. So beautiful finish, and one that is very rare to be seen against a player like Anatoly Karpov. So an amazing, amazing game, an amazing display of how to play with initiative. And I hope you enjoyed watching this really nice game. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.